Now coming to architectural view. The architectural view allows you to create an optional architecture structure that augments the master data of the usage view. This lets to depict your real estate structure at all hierarchical level, regardless of company. So as I mentioned, it is an optional view, does not has to be a mandatory one, and it is just once it has been used, then it will be linked to your usage view. So it is not an independent one. Even after creating architectural view, it has to be linked to usage view. Anybody of you remember yesterday when we were doing an hands-on session while creating business entity, land and building, we had an option of architectural view. So if we activate, like if we click take on that checkbox, then it will be activated over there. Use case of architectural view. Using the architectural view is recommended in following cases. You wish to enter detailed information about the architectural structure of your real estate in the system, especially if you have detailed measurements such as rooms or floors in a building and you wish to access this data in the usage. One more thing, apart from any of the specific architecture, statues or something, if you want to take any kind of measurement, let's say rather than putting manual measurement in rental object, if you have a blueprint of your architecture and if you want to fetch that measurement from your blueprint, then also you can utilize, so that once the architecture view is activated or it has been used, all the measurements from blueprint will be flown from architectural view to usage view. Okay. The usage of the object changes frequently. In this case, the architectural view remains constant and you can create new usage object as needed. As it is a blueprint, application of a blueprint, it is hardly any, there are hardly any chances that it will get changed in near future, because once the construction has been completed and the blueprint has been created, it has to remain constant for at least for some tenure. And that is why it is mentioned over here that the change of the architectural view area or the measurement is hardly possible, wherein when we create a usage view, we can change it. Let's say initially we have been utilizing 500 square feet, and again we occupy some 200 more square feet of area. So it can change, like in pool space it can change, in rental space also it can change, but in architectural view it is hardly possible. RE navigator, we have to click on architectural object with the quick index create. After that, what all things we can add? We have general data tab, we have number assignment tab. Number assignment, if you remember, whenever we create any object, we have to assign a number range, unless and until it won't create any object, be it your architectural view or be it your usage view. So in general data tab, if you remember yesterday, what all things we enter is validity, what is your company code, what will be your business entity, what will be your land or building. That these all data will be entered at general data level. Number assignment is something like number range creation. Additional data tab, we'll be having some extra field, as in like in land, if you remember we had municipality key, then extra fields like which area it is facing, what is the quality, all those tab. Land and building tab, which land and building is assigned to it. Date tabs and page. Partner, if you remember, we can assign business partner, but as I recommended, rather than assigning business partner at master data level, it is anytime better to assign this business partner at contract, because under one business business entity there are multiple land and building, and under one land and building there are multiple rental object, and one rental object has to be assigned to a contract. When we can when we will assign multiple contract or multiple rental object, we might have multiple tenant or landlord as well. So in this case it is always better to maintain partner at contract level, so we need not have to, like, it is system will not give any error, and it is not restricted at all. Measurement tab, it will have all the measurement which are being flown in from your third party systems, that are your integrated system like CAD, JS. So from that it will appear that how much is the area, how much is the width, how much is the length of the particular area which is being used. Now under assignment, what we will have, under assignment we can have multiple things, like let's say if we are creating business entity, and under business entity there are multiple land and building, then in assignment you will be able to see those land and building rental object and contracts which are assigned under that particular business entity. So that is how it works. Now coming to architectural object hierarchy. This extractor is used for loading hierarchies of for the architectural object characteristic. You have to select a hierarchy level. The extractor returns the subordinate nodes. Technical data, the application component. So there are some components which we need to activate if we are using architectural object hierarchy. That in sense it makes system available for any kind of integration from GIS or AutoCAD. So what are the component? A 0 REFX hyphen 10 master data of real estate management. From which enhancement package it is available? Enhancement package 4 for ERP 6.0 and NetWeaver 7.0 BI content add-on 4. So for BI content you can use 7.0. Content version, no different content version exists. Remote cube capable, yes. Delta capable, no. Extraction from archive, no. And verifiable. Fields of origin for the extraction structure. So what does it mean by extraction is nothing but how exactly the data will be extracted from particular system. So these are the extraction fields that will be your 0 LTP source, description of the field in the extraction structure, data source. So these will be the field. Uses and prerequisite of architectural view or architectural object. So uses and prerequisite of architectural object. You have to set up number assignment for architectural object yourself. Number assignment is not internal. You can make preliminary setting for your number assignment in customizing. These are the basic setting for any kind of usage view or architectural view. If you remember yesterday, we had done number range settings wherein we have maintained number ranges for business entity, land, building, correct? That is how you also maintain it for architectural view, architecture object types. Procedure. In the application, you specify how numbering takes place for architectural objects. You make this specification on the object type designated as the top level in the hierarchy. Then applies to all object type below this one in the hierarchy. Name of architectural object type. Object type for which you are specifying the number assignment depends on hierarchy of object types you define in the customizing. So again, if you remember in above steps, we can define multiple object architectural object type. So based on that, if you want to define multiple number ranges, then you can do that as number assignment. Higher level on which numbering has to be unique. Default value from customizing. If the global not applicable indicator is set in customizing, then numbering has to be unique in the entire client. You can change this default value here, but you cannot delete it. If you do not make any entry here, numbering has to be unique at the top level of the hierarchy. Manual changes are not possible. So what does it mean is the numbering has to be internal and it has no available facility of external. Okay. First number in this column and the next one, you define the range of numbering. Lower limit of the number range interval. If you enter numeric value here, then the number of the object can only be numeric and has to be within the defined range. If you make alphanumeric entries, then the system checks if the string is within the specified range. Note the first of the 13 characters has precedence during the check. For example, the number A123456 7 is between A1 and A2. So it is nothing but we are defining how exactly we are going to maintain alphanumeric numbers and numeric number. So yesterday, if you remember, I mentioned you that if you want to maintain a alphanumeric number, so what you can do is you can maintain all A's to all Z's. That means you are activating your system to be for to allow alphanumeric. Again, apart from that, when exactly we'll be using alphanumeric number? So mostly in most of the cases, if we are assigning an external number ranges, then only. But over here it is like alphanumeric number is within a range. So let's say, as you see, a1 all zeros to a1 a2 all zeros. So this is the range, that is why it has been picked up, otherwise it won't have been. Now coming to fixtures and fittings, what are the characteristics of fixtures and fitting? You can assign fixtures and fitting characteristics to the buildings, rental object, or parcel to describe the real estate object or adjust condition. You have made the settings for the representative list of rents in customizing. To do so, choose below navigator. How exactly we can make fixtures and fittings set in. So under flexible real estate, we get into adjustment of condition, rent adjustment, and representative list of rents. So in that we can change it. Another characteristic of fixtures and fitting. So building rental objects can be one of those. Building and rental object can have fixture and fittings characteristic. Category wise, it can be roof, group wise roof covering, and characteristic wise under roof what all activities we have done. Like we have created a brick wall, shingles, or any kind of false ceiling. So these all things can come under characteristic. Okay, the structure of the fixture and fitting characteristic is an important basis for carrying out an adjustment bid based on the representative list of rent. The further topic will be contract management that we will cover afterwards. First of all, we'll hands-on session of rental object and how exactly the architectural view can be. Click on create. No. Business entity will be an internal number range. It will be assigned by system. And you can scroll down and select your tenancy law over here. Yeah, in reference factor field. Above, if you see the reference factor tab is there. And if you scroll down, yeah, tenancy law. So if you remember, we had selected Austrian tenancy law for this. Now you can click on check and check if whether it is an error free to the left of that flag. No, the left icon. Immediately left icon of to the flag. Yeah, this one. Yes. So it is an error free, right? So now you can create, like save this. So it will get created. Business entity 3 has been assigned to you. It seems that only one person has practiced this activity yesterday, because business entity number 1 was been utilized by Jyoti, and only one person has done the hands-on session. Guys, please make sure you guys practice all of these activities after this session. So over here, if you see Kushagra at the top, there is one checkbox available. Create from architectural object, right? So if you remember in our current session, as I mentioned, that if you want to create any of your objects like a building, a business entity, land from your architectural object, you can create it from that object as well. So what it will do is it will directly fetch the measurements from that architectural object. So over here, which node you will be extracting from, and what exactly we are performing over here? Is it architecture or usage? So now over here, the very first thing if you see is your number range for rental object, right? So you need to maintain a number range first. Okay. Now after this, if you see the second drop down is usage type. If you click on that, you'll have the usage types available. So what is usage type? So after rental object type, of rental object type, so there are two types. One is usage type, and the second is the very first thing is rental object type. So under rental object type, you will be having usage type. Usage type is nothing. If you click on that, Kushagra, on usage type, you'll be able to see what is the purpose of this rental object, whether it is land, building, as you mentioned, Kushagra, we will finding over here, land, building, warehouse, garage, commercial office, residential, whatever place it may be, uh, like advertising space, vending machine space, all of these you can mention or maintain it over here. Okay, and in front of that, if you see, it is also there is a drop down available, whether it is commercial, non-commercial, or used for both. Okay, area and room rental, vacant rental unit. Okay, so if you want to maintain any usage type, as like someone has vacated that particular rental object, you can do that as well. Okay, now if you click on the fourth column, there is a numbering available, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Can you see that? And if you do F4 over there, yeah. So this is internal usage type. What does that mean? So ideally, internal usage type is nothing when we create an rental object in sync with your architectural object. So it will get flown in using this internal usage type. Okay. And if we do not want to maintain this, it is fine. Like if we are not activating architectural view, it is also fine. Okay. And will it be commercial, right? It should be commercial only. And if you scroll ahead, now you can click on enter and save it. Yeah. Now usage type per rental object type. Okay. Now you have configured your usage type, right? Your cold storage usage type with number 13. Now you can maintain this usage type is available for which all rental object type. If you want to activate it for rental space, pool space, and rental unit. So if you click on that, you can assign your usage type to all the object types. Over here, create a new entry, do RU and 13. It should be standard. This is nothing but your screen sequences, RERO. So ideally it defines which field should be your hidden field, which should be your display required object optional field. You don't want to create it for your this one, pool space and rental space. Now we go to next step, that is your usage type allowed for rental spaces per pool space. If you click on that, okay. Now tell me something. What do you understand by this? What is your understanding by the configuration done over here? If you can allow, tell me. So this is something like if we are creating any of the pool space, let's say I have created a pool space. So within pool space also I can create multiple usage type. Okay. So one pool space can be for food court. Okay. As I have given you an example. Second pool space can be for parking. In parking also we can have a pool space, and whenever we assign those parking to any of organizations, like in commercial buildings or any of the commercial complexes, we do assign parking to few pool space called food court. We cannot allow parking rental space, right? It has to be
Right.
only food related, like sitting section, sitting area, all of these activities need to be assigned only for food court, right? So that is how we restrict that. Okay, a certain pool space and has to be a certain rental space activated, and it should not be a crisscross of that. So that is what we are maintaining over here. So if you do F4 on pool space, so these many of common standards in provided pool space are there: store, garage, vending machine, advertisement space, warehouse, store, office, store, medical practice. So these all pool space area are there. Now if you do rental space F4, so see over here, for terminal, against terminal, what all activities have been maintained? Check-in terminal is there, terminal lounge is there, terminal stall is there. And what do you think, Kushagra, what should be the another rental space that we can maintain for terminal? Measurement types allowed per rental object type. Now over here, it is what we are doing configuration. So if you click on that, you'll be getting to see what are all measurements type we have maintained. So standard, we haven't maintained anything. If you do F4 on RO type, the reason why standard solution is not given over here is standard solution will be provided, then it will restrict it. Okay. So you can select either of them. Do one thing, select pool space and rental space and do F4 on measurement type. Now, similarly, when we can assign measurement type to your rental object, similarly, we can also assign measurement type to our usage type. So if you do F4 over there, so over here, if you see, measurement type and usage types are assigned to each other. So what is your first usage type? Privately financed accommodation. Second one is public authority supplied accommodation. Fourth and fifth usage type has been used. Fourth is store, that is for rental space. Fifth is warehouse, that is for office space. So these all rental space and measurement type and usage type has been assigned. So now you can cancel this and go one step back. Now after this we have attributes. Can you click on that, attributes? So in attributes, we can define which part of building, these all functionalities. If you remember, I mentioned you that you can specifically define that a certain rental unit or certain shop is at which part of that particular building. Let's say I have entered a mall and a Nike store has to be there. So which part, whether it is first floor, second floor, ground floor, and from ground floor it is no, third shop from the left. All of these we can define over here. If you click on part of building, Kushagra, back facing, east wing, main building, under garage, underground garage, then comes your annex. All of this aspect you can maintain over here. So apart from this, if you have something else, let's say you want to say that uh, seventh shop from the left, you can maintain that as well. Now you can maintain one more thing, third flat from elevator. Now you can also over here in the 09 only, you can mention whether from elevator will it be left or right. So you got to know, right, how exactly we are maintaining it. Like let's say if we have certain commercial complexes or residential complexes or any other object rental objectives that which we are going to lease it out. So how exactly we can identify. So this is how we can maintain it over there. That okay, second from left, second flat from elevator to the left. So this is how you can maintain it in REFX. Okay, you can go one step back and go to next step. Location on floor. If you remember flat number, yeah. So this is also one of the thing. If you do not want to maintain it in your part of your building, you can also maintain it over here. Third from the left, first from the left, which all whether it is center, you can maintain it over here as well. Okay, if you do not want to maintain it there, if you just want to say that okay, third building, third apartment, from locations on the floor, you can determine this as well. Okay, I think there are many configurations available for the location on the floor. If you want to, if you wish to create new one, that is fine. If not, then we can move it. Floor description. Now if you click on floor description, you will be able to see which floor it is. First floor, ground floor, third floor, basement floor, underground. All of these you can maintain over here. Okay. Do you think something is missing over here? Define fixtures and fitting characteristic of buildings, rental object and parcel. Click on that. This is the same thing. If you remember yesterday for building, we had this option available. What should be the characteristic of fixture and fitting? Whether it is tile, pine level, what kind of fixtures and fittings are being done, and for which all object it should be activated. So if you scroll down, PVC, if you see wooden baseboard is PVC, tiles, wood, carpet, then interior windows seal is of tile, wood, artificial stone. So these kind of fixture and fitting you can maintain over here, in which you are specifying that let's say if one of the floor is totally made up of Italian marble, then you can say that flooring covering as Italian marble. You can create it in that way, and then for which all objects, building, rental object, parcel, it can be activated for. Tell me something why it is not activated for like why exactly we are not able to see land over here. So ideally, what's the requirement? So I'll give you an example of this. Let's say I'm owning an apartment. Initially that apartment was kid apartment, that means it didn't had any kind of furniture in that. Now I have created some furniture in that and I have leased out. So when I have leased out this particular apartment, I would like to know what kind of flooring I have given, right? What kind of furniture I have given, whether I have given a Italian marble furniture or normal tile furniture, whether I have given any kind of AC in that apartment or not, whether I have given any kind of sofa cupboards or not, right? I would like to know because that is how I'm also maintaining my inventory. That in all of these, out of 100 apartment, in all of these apartment, let's say 10 apartment, I have given AC, air conditioner. In all of these apartment, I have Italian marble. In all of these 20 or 30 apartment, I have also given fully furnished. That means it has cupboard, it has a sofa, it has modular kitchen, it has dining table. All of these things are there in my apartment, correct? And if I'm not maintaining it over here, how exactly I'll be able to track that? Yeah, specify structure of fixture and fitting characteristic independent of RLRR. So over here, what we are going to do is, this is specific for architectural object. If you do F4 on that, sorry, you'll have to create it. Okay, so what exactly it means over here is, if you are integrating any of your rental object from architectural object, you'll have to maintain certain datas over here. This is how you can sync up your data through this object. Okay, so as of now we are not doing any of the architectural objects, so we can go one step back, go to next step. Reason of different rent increase. Okay, double click on that. We can ideally, when we are obtaining any kind of rent in contract, we are doing it through your condition type. We have a condition type in contract, through that we maintain it. Okay, whenever we increase your unit price, it will get to know that okay, your rent has increased. Or if we decrease our unit price, we'll get to know that your rent has decreased. Now after doing that, if you want to specify after a certain activity which you have done, if a rent increase has been done, then you can mention, like you can create activities over here. What all activities are there? See, noise due to railway line, apartment is damp, noise due to large building site, loud traffic noise. Or you can also mention like new fixture fittings and have been created, or renovation has been done. So all these activities you can maintain over here and you can assign to your rental object. So you'll get to know that okay, you have increased your rent due to this reason. So over here you can mention standard 5% of increase in rent, standard 5% increase after 1 year. Simultaneously you can create next one, 06 standard 10% increase. So what you have defined over here is, like let's say some contract might have that standard 5% of increase in your rent is there. So some contract might have standard 10% of increase in your rent might be there. So wherever whichever increase is applicable, you can define like assign that particular reason. Okay. Account determination value. So these are the account determination value we will be using in contract as well as. So let's say we have a scenario wherein for first year it is supposed to be posted to 1 GL, and for second year it is supposed to be posted to second year. So how exactly we can manage is, we can create multiple account determination value over here, and we can assign each GL, individual GL, to those account determination value. So, and through our time slice, we can determine that for first year, GL number XYZ has to be picked up, and for second year, GL number ABC has to be picked up. Okay. So, leasing property, leasing building, land, machine. So, so against semi-furnished, you can maintain semi-furnished apartments, and one you can mention as non, RE underscore non, that is non-furnished apartment. So these are the configuration which we do for rental object. Okay, so now the next thing is, after attributes we have vacancy. So what do you mean by vacancy? So ideally, as mentioned, one thing is it is not rented out or it is available, and second thing is while any of the apartment or rental object is being getting vacated, what is the reason for that? So let's say XYZ apartment has been rented out. It has a contract of 2 years. Now, suddenly after 6 months, the tenant has decided to leave the apartment. That might be because unavailable of water supply, not available of like electricity, or it can be like seepage in the roof from hall. Multiple reasons can be there that the flat apartment is not in appropriate condition. So these all vacancy reason we can maintain over here. So if you click on define vacancy reason, no particular reason, no particular reason, it may be because normal it is just vacant, contract might have been over, or no tenant must have been assigned to that particular apartment. Second one is contract ended, notice given. Third one is modernization measure, that is nothing but renovation. Fourth one is reservation. Reservation is something like someone has already booked it. And vacancy account assignment, if you click on vacancy account assignment, so account assignment as usual, other CO account assignment, other account determination value, other CO account assignment. So what is the reason we are assigning account assignment over here? Why exactly we are assigning any of the account over here? Okay, let me give you an example. So you all are working in TCS. Okay. Now when you are on project, you will be billable to the project code, right? And when you are on bench, you will be billable to, that is a bench code, right? Not to a project. Idle, it will be your idle time paid. TCS is not recovering any cost, or TCS is not earning any cost out, earning any revenue out of that, right? So TCS is paying out of their pocket when you are on bench, and when you are on project, TCS is earning from project for your utilization. So it is the same way. When any of the apartment or any of the rental object is assigned to any of the tenant or landlord, we can use that account assignment as usual. But whenever we are using any of the vacancy reason, let's say contract ended, and after contract ended, it will the contract like the rental object will be vacant for almost 2 or 3 months. Now it should go to another account assignment, right? It can be like it can be a self cost utilization, like self cost. So against that, if you see, account determination value column is also there. Column, if you see account determination value, yeah, over here. So through this you'll get to know, you can define which all account determination values you can assign over here. So if a a vacancy reason is that rental object is not assigned or not utilized by any of them, then it should go for non-utilization related account determination value over here. So that builder will be bearing that cost, for builder or the constructor, whosoever the owner of that property is there, they will be bearing the cost of that particular property for 2 months, until and unless that property has been let out against. Determine vacancy reason based on vacancy event. Click on that. Vacancy event, to the left, the first and second column, RO term extended directly, define default vacancy reason, rental object created new, contract start date shifted back, contract end date shifted forward. Okay. What are the events that is causing the vacancy? You can also define that. That okay, we were supposed to start a contract from 1st of Jan 2025, but the tenant has like decided that instead of 1st of Jan, the tenant will be starting it from 1st of February. Now it will be contract start date shifted forward, correct? That is why one more month has been vacated. So if you see second event, second is there, contract start date shifted backward. So instead of backward, you can also create forward, wherein your start date has been changed from 1st of Jan to 1st of February. And what will be the vacancy reason for that? No reason. because it has not yet started. And based on your requirement, you can configure what should be your vacancy event, which you should be selecting your vacancy reason. Please make sure when we configure or when we select either of them, vacancy event and vacancy reason together, we have to make sure that whenever we are selecting vacancy reason, and if we have assigned any of the account determination values to those vacancy reason, then it should be in line. Let's say like start date of RO assignment to contract shifted backward. What does this mean? A start date of RO assignment to contract shifted backward. That means something was some contract was going to start in 1st of Jan, but it has started from 1st of December. So in that case, wherein you were supposed to be vacant for XYZ amount, XYZ month, it has reduced by 1 month now. So these are the vacancy event which you can assign. Again, vacancy event is not mandatory thing which we should assign. Only if the business purpose is like business scenarios require that you should be assigning events, then only you can assign it. Otherwise, vacancy reason suffice your requirement. Okay, and determine vacancy reason based on notice reason. So in another example, again, let's say you're working with TCS, you have got an offer from some other company. What will you do? You will resign, right? And you will start serving your notice period. While resigning, you have to select some reason. Why? What was the reason you have resigned? Were you not satisfied? Were you not like your role wasn't good enough, or you're not happy with your role? These all reasons are notice reason. So why exactly the contract is getting terminated? Or if some contract like before like end date, if some of the tenant has decided to give the notice and move out of the apartment or property, what is the reason? Let's say rent has been increased and the tenant thinks that okay, the increase in the rent was not appropriate and right now it was not required at all, so it's better to leave the property and search for something else. Okay, second will be, let's say, restricted use. There is a 2 BHK apartment and there is a balcony, but owner has only given one room to use, and tenant after certain period of time thinks that okay, this is not what I like of and I would like to leave this property. So these are the notice reason against which you will be configuring the vacancy reason. Who all can give this kind of notice? Okay, so contractee or contractor, you can maintain it over here. Contractee is, will it be tenant or will it be owner? And contractor will be owner. Okay, and if you want that, okay, no specific person, like both of them can give this kind of reason, then you select blank. Yes, this one, blank. You can select blank. That means either of them can give the notice.